Here in part is what he wrote. If it should happen one day, and it could be today, that I become a victim of the terrorism which now seems ready to engulf all the foreigners living in Algeria, I would like my community, my church, and my family to remember that my life was given to God and to this country. I would like, when the time comes, to have a moment of lucidity which would allow me to beg forgiveness of God and my fellow human beings, and at the same time to forgive with all my heart the one who would strike me down. I could not desire such a death. It seems important to state this. I do not see, in fact, how I could rejoice if the people I love, Islam, were to be accused indiscriminately of my murder. I am also aware of the caricatures of Islam, which a certain Islamism encourages. It is too easy to solve one's conscience by identifying this religious way, Islam, with the fundamentalist ideologies of the extremists. My death clearly will appear to justify those who hastily judged me naive or idealistic. Let him tell us now what he thinks of Islam. But this is what I shall be able to do, if God wills, to immerse my gaze in that of the Father, and contemplate with him his children of Islam, just as he sees them. For this life lost, totally mine and totally theirs, I thank God. As I watch the news each day, read the newspapers, hear political and religious commentators, and listen to friends share about the situation in the world, I find few words that challenge me as deeply as these. What this extraordinarily courageous abbot calls us to is what's deepest inside Christianity and all authentic religion, namely a solidarity with others, all others, that's based upon a common God and a common humanity, a fact that relativizes every other difference. We are brothers and sisters, all of us, Muslims and Christians, and everyone else under one gaze of love from God. But that's not easy to see nor accept when daily we are hating, imprisoning, torturing, and killing each other in the name of God and our respective values. What Father Christian invites us to is to live out the gospel, not out of our feelings. What in essence does that mean? The gospel recount an incident where one day Jesus was walking along the borders of Samaria when he met a woman. Scripture scholars assure us that what is being described here is more than mere geography and more than a simple conversation between Jesus and a Syro-Phoenician woman. A border is a boundary, the edges of something foreign. And Samaria and this woman were what was particularly foreign at that moment. Samaria was a different ethnicity and a different religion, and the woman a different gender. In essence, the Gospels are saying one day Jesus was walking along the edges of ethnicity, religion, and gender, as these they're then known and accepted. I doubt that what we will find anywhere in Scripture or elsewhere a more succinct and accurate description of where the Christian churches today, all of them, are standing. We are standing on the borders of ethnicity, religiosity, and gender, as we once knew these, particularly as these pertain to Islam. And to what does this call us? Precisely to what Abbot Christian both incarnated and articulated: to stay in the relationship, to not characterize, to not misunderstand, to not let what's worst in each other eclipse what's best in each other, to continue to trust in our common God, to die in love if necessary, and especially to not forget ever that we are brothers and sisters, given equal life by a common Father. And this is not a dangerous flight into idolism, biblically but impractical, a child's naivety. It's also astutely political, a brutal realism. Until we and Islam embrace as brothers and sisters, there can be no peace, and no military power in the world, as we are painfully learning, can provide us with security. But for that to happen, we have to, like Father Christian, immerse our gaze with that of the Father and contemplate the children of Islam as he sees them. What is the soul? I'd like to clarify what I mean when I use the term soul, since it differs significantly from how it is usually defined, which is that it is the mind, will, and emotions of a person, or that it is the person's life. My definition includes neither of these. When I use the term soul, I am simply referring to the spiritual body that houses the spirit. The other things that are usually attributed to the soul, I have placed in the realm of the physical body, because every living creature also has them, but not a soul as we have. However, just because I made them part of the physical body, it doesn't mean that they don't attach to the soul when our physical body dies and our soul goes to heaven, because they do, at least in some kind of purified form, which means they must have become part of the spirit in some way during the process. How is it possible that a Buddhist has a devil but not a God?